Welcome to my graveyard. This one actually works. It has sorry, it's okay. It has a slow. It just needs a CLA, like it. Say it just kind of. The shutter just kind of sticks. Otherwise, it works. What is this? This is a Canon 1.8 50. It's a decent piece of glass. So, and in my mind, there's no prettier Leica than a thread mount Leica. I don't think that ultimately they're as functional as the M's, but beautiful. This is the, talk about a beautiful camera. The Kodak Retina is also, in my mind, like one of the most beautiful cameras you can get, and the glass on it is really, the price is hard to beat. I mean, even, you can see it's not, I had to actually, that should just pop open, but I had this around my neck and I was in Grand Central and I took a spill and this got between marble steps and my face. So this is a little misaligned. I don't remember if it has any other problems than that. It might still be functional, but there might be a shutter issue with it as well. But this is the Xenon, I think. Yeah, it's a 50 millimeter f2, and in my mind is about as sharp as any lights you're gonna find. And you buy these for like 50 bucks. So, but see, yeah, it's not folding in. It's that track misaligned upon impact. So yeah, I have to. That's not a healthy sound, as you can hear, but another beautiful, beautiful camera. This I had for like 6 months. I mean, granted, it's not, and the shutter release mechanism just fell out of it, and I didn't abuse it, barely used it. Have some nice pictures from Lee, but it's like my only digital camera. Yeah, love for digital, sure. This is the VIT. This one I think actually is still working, so I don't know why this is down here, but it has that trigger advance. So, and we got the 1.4 50 millimeter, another lovely piece of glass. I think this actually is still working, so I don't know why that's in there. We have a Hassie back. This is, I think, yeah, this is an A24. So, given the fact that you can't find a whole lot of 220 film anymore, not much use in it. I think it still works. This is, as we all know, the beautiful Canonet QL17. I bought this at an estate sale, thinking I might be able to fix it, and the shutter's just jammed on it. Otherwise, it's really clean. Garbage. We've got the Mia 6. I use this quite a bit. A little camera tattoo on it. So this is a fantastic camera, and I love this camera dearly, but it developed this problem where you would load the film and then you would advance it, and then it should lock and not release until you trip the shutter, you know. But for some reason, it'll just wind through the entire roll and never trip the shutter. But otherwise, the electronics work in it. It's probably just a gearing issue. But when I went to have it repaired, they told me that they no longer are able to get parts for the 6. The 7 they can get parts for, the 6 they can't. I don't know why. It's ridiculous. I really would like to use this camera again. I worked for somebody who swore by this camera and would love to use it again, but hi cat, can you fuck off? This was my workhorse for many years. It was my dad's camera, and I gave it to my nephew, and I had this plate. When I got married, I gave it to my nephew Jake, and had the plate put on it. It developed some sort of problem. I don't remember what it was. Jake gave it back to me. I will eventually get it repaired and give it to him. Ironically, his sister Julia is turned into more of a photographer, so I'm gonna have to give her some sort of nice camera that she'll use. So this is the M5, which could you please fuck off? I love you, fuck off. This was my dad's. He had it in the plastic all his life, all my life. So basically this camera is like almost as old as I am. And right before he died, he opened it up out of the plastic and must have put like a roll through it or something like that. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna use this camera. And I used it heavily, but like an idiot, I figured, oh, it's in the plastic, it should be fine. So I did not get it CLA'd before starting using it because it was mint, right? And idiot that I am, it was like my whole lifetime of just having gummed lubricants. Didn't feel gummy, but I was kind of savage with it. I would do this like fast double crank, and I ended up, I'll show you. If you see the shutter is kind of off its alignment here. See how it's tilted like that? I sent this to my people at Nippon. Cat, please go away. So I sent it to my repair shop, Nippon Photo Clinic, and they said that they couldn't repair it and that I should bring it to Leica. So I brought it to Leica in New Jersey, and they said they technicians couldn't do it and they'd have to send it back to Germany. I was also looking to make it 3-lug instead of just the 2-lug. I'm currently shooting a 3-lug now. The 2-lug kind of hangs this way and it looks cool, but it's murder on the neck. So they sent it to Germany. They gave me a quote. It was way more than the cost of the camera. So that's the camera right now with a busted main shutter drum. This one is a repainted M2. I had an M4 that was original black enamel, which was just the most gorgeous thing, and it wore so beautifully. Like this paint, if you can see, just chips, right? Which isn't bad. It's kind of cool looking, right? But the enamel wore in layers, you know what I mean? So it didn't just chip, it wore and chipped. But I still really like this camera, but I was at the bank and I just set it down and my son pulled it off and it dropped. And now it hit right there and it bent this plate, so the bottom plate can't be removed. It's jammed on there, and it also separated the finder. So it is a separated finder, and I might eventually take off the top plate and put a top plate on another camera, because the top plate's fine and still cool looking. So I might Frankenstein this at some point, but it needs a new finder and a totally new bottom plate, so it actually probably makes more sense to just take the top plate off in the various black bits and have them put on another M2 that's fully functioning. And then this is the first M that I ever had. It's the one that I bought for $600, that I put all this road wear on, and it really lasted me forever. I dropped it several times, but just like, I put a ton of film through this. But the last time it fell, and it only fell from a distance of like a foot onto tile, it separated the finder. So it's all black in there. But this camera I love because it's just, it doesn't look precious. It's like scratched up, it's beat up. and I shot a lot of good stuff with this camera. So this one I might eventually, if I can find another finder, you know, or maybe Frankenstein these two cameras together. But, you know, notwithstanding the two M's that were stolen from me, I killed all of these. So there's my shame. There's my, oh, and then this one. I don't know that, I think this still actually works, but I just haven't put much through it. So, yep. So there's the boneyard.